Welcome back. Let's take you to this conversation now. The Socio-Economic Rights Institute of South Africa has taken the City of Johannesburg to court, and this is over the removal of informal traders from the city's streets. The organization argues that the city's actions violate the traders' constitutional rights to earn a living. The city, however, maintains that the removals were lawful and aimed at ensuring compliance with trading regulations. For more on this now, we bring in Tlou, who's the Director of Litigation Services in the City of Johannesburg. Thank you for your time. So perhaps let's start with the city's position on this particular matter. I know SERI argues that the City of Johannesburg violated the rights of these traders by removing them from their trading spots without, first of all, following due processes there. Can you explain to us what led to the city's decision, one, but also just what legal framework was used as basis for all of this, and maybe touch on those bylaws as well?
Okay, thanks and good morning to you and your viewers. Firstly, I would like to correct you. We did not remove traders from the trading spot. What happened on the 2nd and the 5th of October was that JMPD visited Divila Street in the inner city to enforce the bylaws. They arrived there around 4 a.m. No traders were there. When they arrived, JMPD informed them to say, if you are here to trade, there are bylaws that you must comply with. You must not trade on pavement. You must not trade in a position wherein you are going to block the road or you are going to block the vehicle to move. So on those particular days, City of Johannesburg was enforcing the law. We did not violate traders' rights. We did not remove them from their trading spots. What we said to them, if you are to trade, you are an informal trader, you must be verified, you must comply with the city's bylaws. Yes.
So are you saying reports of some of those traders that said they were forcefully removed are not accurate? Is that what you're saying this moment?
Yes.
Okay, so talk to us then about some of the efforts as well in terms of just ensuring compliance, because it's one thing to ask these people to comply, but it's also another thing for them to make access and make use of some of the services that are available to them in terms of paperwork, because the city has been criticized for what many people have said, compiling or having at least lots of red tape. So some of these, budding businesses are at least not able to access space to work. First of all, talk to us about how does the city usually work with some of these traders to ensure that we do not get to such a position to begin with?
Yes, we've got a department called the Department of Economic Development. That's the department responsible for informal traders. Before one can trade, you must then be registered. You visit their department. They are situated at number 66, Jorrison Street, Braamfontein. You submit documents like your ID. If you are from outside the country, you submit your passport and so forth. You get verified. They register you. Then they allocate you a trading spot. And what I would like the viewers to know is that there are traders who are verified and are currently trading. Now we are dealing with those who refuse to be verified, who refuse to submit themselves to the City of Johannesburg for purpose of being allocated. They want to allocate themselves. More in particular, they want to be allowed to trade at Divila Street, which is not designated area for trading, because there you've got about 500 informal traders who says they want to trade where? At Divila Street. We're saying it's not. We've got spaces wherein trading is designated. Come to our offices, we verify you, we allocate you a trading space.
Yeah, but what are some of the problems that you are encountering? Because I'm assuming that communication is key, particularly at times like this, because if you have some of the traders coming out to say that the city is not really coming to the party, and you seated here with us today and you're saying, look, the city has engaged some of these traders, clearly there's a gap there in terms of communication and how the city communicates with these traders. Have you really tried your utmost best, would you say, as the city to ensure that there's no confusion around what actually needs to be done? Because, look, it's black and white.
Yes, we have been in constant communication with informal traders, more in particular those who are represented by SERI. In fact, before this court case, they wrote to us on the 2nd October. We responded. We then informed them to say we are enforcing the bylaw, and we are amenable to a roundtable discussion. We invited them to a meeting on the 17th of October 2025, and they agreed to that meeting, they agreed to that negotiation. However, on the 16th, they decided to go to court. They did not honor that invitation. Even on Friday when we were in court, the judge encouraged mediation. The judge asked the parties to sit and try to resolve the issues. We gave them offer to say, look, if you want to trade, we will assist you. We are prepared to work overtime to verify you and allocate you trading spots. So we've been in constant communication with the informal traders.
So what do you make of the reports around the timing of all this confusion that we're seeing now? There's been reports that the city is doing this just because they're trying to prepare for the G20 Leaders Summit, and efforts to clean the city are more about optics more than actually enforcing the bylaws. How do you respond to that?
Look, the law is the law. Whether it's G20 or not G20, the law must apply. Cities' informal trading bylaw existed before G20. If you check their court papers, they say we have been enforcing the bylaw since last year. We have been removing them. So this enforcement does not come now. It has always been there. 2013, we enforced the bylaw. However, the court criticized us in how we enforced the bylaw then. 2022, again, we enforced the bylaw. We still continue to enforce the bylaw. The point that I'm making is G20 or not G20, the law remains the law. And we must enforce the law.
Yeah, and I want us to now shift focus to the city's permit and regulation system. So much has been said about that, and you've previously indicated that the city is also in the process of, rolling out a new informal trading permit sort of like framework also in a way. So how will this system, address some of these past systematic challenges that we've seen the city encounter?
Well, we are moving into a technology. So once you are issued with that permit, that permit has a code. You can scan when you arrive at your stalls. You use that permit. No one will then take your stalls. So it's a proper system. Though we appreciate that in the past years it had its own challenges, but now we got it right. Then we're calling the informal trader to say, come to get verified. You will be issued with a trading permit like others who are now in possession of the permits and are trading lawfully so.
And just looking beyond this court case, how is the city planning to balance, urban management in terms of making sure that you protect informal traders, first of all, because ultimately these are their livelihoods that we're talking about?
Look, first and foremost, the city is not opposed to informal trading. We support informal trading. What we are not supporting is lawlessness. We are saying there are bylaws that regulates informal trading. If you are an informal trader, comply with such bylaws, then JMPD will not disturb you while you are trading. For example, you've got people who are selling, we don't know what stuff are they selling. For example, in their case, most of them, they are saying they're trading in second-hand clothing. There's a legislation that regulates that process of trading other than our bylaws. You need to then apply to SAPS, then SAPS will then issue with a certificate to say you can trade in that form of trade. Others are in a business or trading with cooked meal. You must comply with fire safety. You must get a certificate of acceptability. So now we have got traders who do not want to comply with those laws. In fact, what they're saying we want to be allocated devilers. If we are not going to allocate devilers, then we are not going to agree with the city. And we are saying we are not going to surrender devilers. You must comply with the law.
All right, and the Socio-Economic Rights Institute, SERI as well, actually says that some of those traders were actually removed. So we'll endeavor to get their response, first of all, to this conversation, and also to get clarity as to were these informal traders really removed? Because the city, you just came here to say to us, no, they were not removed. But I must thank you so much for your time. That's Mr. Tlou Montja, who's the Director of Litigation Services in the City of Johannesburg. And in the meantime as well, we'll endeavor to get some response from SERI for you on this particular developing story. Thanks so much indeed for your time on the program.